Hi, I'm Mark from eReplacementParts.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the switch and brush card assembly on a Milwaukee 2650-20 cordless impact driver. Many common problems with your cordless impact driver can be solved with this assembly, such as when your driver won't turn on, or maybe it no longer has variable speed. That would be caused by the switch. Over time, the brushes will wear out, and this assembly will replace those as well. The circuit board can go bad. When it goes bad, it's not uncommon to find burned components on the circuit board itself. If a battery connection arcs, you can get some melting on the battery connector. And of course, eventually the LED light might burn out. Fortunately, this assembly is easy to replace, and we're going to show you how. All the parts you see in this video and many more can be found on our website at eReplacementParts.com. Let's get started. We'll begin by removing the rear cover. Next, I'll remove the 4 screws that secure the gearbox to the housing. Now I'll go ahead and remove the screws that secure the 2 halves of the housing. Now we have access to the internal components of our impact driver. We have the gearbox, the motor, the switch, circuit board, and battery connector. The next thing I want to do is pull these wires away from the brushes. These are the wires that apply tension to the brushes and keep them against the armature. With the tension removed from the brushes, now I can pull the gearbox and motor away from the lower housing. And now remove the old switch and brush card assembly from the housing. A trick I like to do here is to keep the wires in as much the same order as they were when they were mounted inside of the drill. We can use this as a template when we go to put the new assembly back into the housing. Now we can begin installing our new switch and brush card assembly. The first thing I want to do is lay it out similar to how the wires are on the old one. Now I'll place our new switch and brush card assembly into the housing. I want to take my time here and make sure that I have the wires tucked into the little channels in the housings. I'll just tuck the LED wire over the top of where the forward-reverse selector goes. I'll go ahead and replace that forward-reverse selector. This spring fits into the opening on the back of the battery connector. That looks good. And now I'll concentrate on the wires on the brush card. Just want to make sure that nothing gets pinched when we put everything back together. Once again, I'll pull the brush springs back away from the brushes. Now I can go ahead and reinstall the gearbox and motor assembly. You'll notice on the gearbox there's a tab, and on the motor a notch. These need to line up with the groove and the tab on the housing. Just take your time and make sure you get everything all lined up. Now just check our wires one more time and make sure everything's out of the way so it won't get pinched. And then we can replace the other half of the housing. And now just re-secure the screws that attach the 2 halves of the housing. Now re-secure the gearbox screws. Now I'll snap the brush springs back into place. And I'll replace the rear cap. And that's all it takes to replace the switch and brush card assembly on a Milwaukee 2650-20 cordless impact driver. Doing a repair like this yourself will save you a lot of money versus taking your tool to a repair shop. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment.